Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is King, and today I'm going to talk about Nigeria, basically, in the sense of, like, I just want to make a commentary sometimes on some shit that goes on in this country and how nonsense is actually the kind of system we're operating in this country. So we have this regulatory body called NAFDAC. It's for Food and Drug Administration and Control. Yeah. And we used to have, one time in Nigeria, we had this very impeccable director, Dr. Dora Akunyili, and I knew her when I was a child. When she came on seat, and the reason why she was so famous was because she was doing something that was very odd, or is very odd for Nigerians at large, which is doing your job and upholding to the directives of whatever position you are occupying. Yeah. So Food and Drug Control is meant to put fake drugs, fake food items out of business, to kick them out. And the point of doing all of that is to keep the Nigerian people safe. Yeah. So she was so like famous. She went on raids, like she led raids herself. She was at the front. She didn't assign any job to anybody. She was doing it all herself, and like it was taking Nigeria by storm. But after her tenure, which is something that's very common in this country as well, is that the next person that occupies those positions essentially ruins everything that previous wonderful director did. It's just how that's why Nigeria has not progressed since 1970, since that oil boom. Yeah. Because every time somebody, even if the person is not a serious person, the person does maybe one in, somebody will come and take us back by -5. That's just the system of corruption in this country. Yeah. So today's conversation is about this new director that I'm not keeping up with anymore. I'm not keeping up with NAFDAC anymore because disillusionment, when you're a growing child, is harsh. Like, it doesn't leave you when you become an adult here. Because you're like, oh, the fantasy world I believed in as a child, looking at my country getting better or progressing, was just that, a fantasy. I'm not keeping up with NAFDAC anymore. I do my best. Whenever I eat, I just say good luck to me. And I make sure I check expiry dates, and my products as well in my shop, I make sure I ascertain their safety before I buy them from the market, and that's the best I can do. Okay, anyways, I am scrolling online and I see Professor Mojisola Adeyeye is the new Director General of NAFDAC. And this is a woman that looks advanced in age, so you know that there's already a problem. There's a problem with the boomers of Nigeria. The boomers generation of Nigeria are the ones that brought us to this point. When they were children, they literally enjoyed everything good about anybody, like the things you see in other people's country now that Nigerians are running away to. Those things, these people enjoyed. These people enjoyed it. They benefited from it, and then they decided to ruin it. Okay, they got their hands on the money and they never let it go. And so the children that came after them, that's myself, me being a millennial, the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, we are in this mess as well. So that's why I said she looks like someone that's advanced in age, and I don't get to look her up because I know after this she's going to be relevant. But I don't know why she's coming up now and saying this type of crap. Maybe because she wants to be relevant. Maybe she wants to be assigned some sort of position or funding by the government. I don't know. Or as the boomers do in our country, what they do is that they assign morality to simple, neutral concepts. You get the concept of a government putting security operatives in charge in such a way that banditry, terrorism, and kidnappings will not be the order of the day. They refuse to do it. And instead, what do? They said they blame us. They will say we should pray more, we should fast more, and using the religious leaders that are overblown, overfed pigs in this country, they will use them to hypnotize the masses that hold on to God or religion of any sort, and say, no, you have to give more tithes, you have to give more offerings, you have to come to church more, you have to deliverance, you have to listen to me as your pastor and pray away evil from your side. So it's the idea of individualism that boomers push on us, because they can use individualism to make us not pay attention to the ways that they have failed us as a people, as their constituency. They failed us systemically. Yeah, they failed us infrastructurally, they failed us systemically, they failed us in every facet of governance. Yeah, and they want to now keep on spreading, like painting over a dilapidated building, over uncompleted warehouses. They want to paint it over and tell us that those are structures, those are good things that they do. I don't know why they're so obsessed with maintaining their image these days. It's so stupid. Keep doing what you are doing, okay, and let us protest in peace. This particular video, I'm just trying to say it's because of this statement that this woman came out to say, March 4th. Okay, so she came out to say alcohol is responsible for banditry in Nigeria. It is also the major cause of suicide, homicide, and unprotected sex. First of all, what this is why you agree with me that these people don't have sense. You agree with me that these people think we are stupid. What do you mean alcohol is responsible for banditry? We drink alcohol and we smoke, you know, so that is why our lives are so hard. That's why we cannot get jobs. That is why we hear of children or young people that are going to do NYSC, because if they don't have NYSC certificate, they won't get a job in this country. They won't be able to apply to schools abroad for master programs or just for BSc programs to escape this hellhole of the country. We see those children being intercepted in the middle of their journeys on this bad road because they cannot afford flight tickets to their location where they've been posted to, because of the aviation sector's corrupt practices. These children, these people, these young people are intercepted on the road by bandits. They are murdered, they are tortured on video, and these videos are sent to their parents, their families, to force them to cough up ransom money. And sometimes even when they get this ransom money, they kill the person that brings the ransom money and they kill this youth. So tell me what role alcohol played in this, Madam Director General of NAFDAC. And she's talking about alcohol as a food item that is under her jurisdiction to control. Yes, it's a beverage. It's under her jurisdiction to control. So is it that expired alcohol is what is causing banditry? Is expired alcohol that allows people to erase their humanity and participate in terrorism? Or is alcohol that allows somebody to be kidnapped by terrorists? Or is it alcohol that is allowing children in the northern part of Nigeria, northern states of Nigeria, to be kidnapped from schools and married off to old men? And like, you did not have to make this comment, madam. You did not have to make this comment. Like, she's just yapping like a fucking idiot. That's just what we have. We have fucking idiots that pose as know-it-alls simply because they're advanced in age, but there's nothing in their head for us. There's one stupid fucking tweet I saw this week where someone was like, young people not listen to the advice of the elder, wisdom of the elders, because the elder's mouth has odor. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What kind of rubbish is that? Like, what kind of, where do we go from here with this kind of thinking? How can we hope to build a country with this type of backward, ignoramus kind of conversations, this kind of babblings of olodo like status, like olodo brains? Like, what exactly are we supposed to do with this type of information? And of course they had to put on protected sex, because that's the only thing they can think of. When they see young people, the next thing they start thinking is how many boys you slept with if it's girls, or how many girls you sleep with if it's boys. Okay, let's not even bring up the ideas of people even being queer in the first place, because this one is not real to them. Just looks like a fucking idiot. So one thing that even pushed me to even make this video was I saw one very quote, you know, one fact loaded quote on this tweet, and I wanted to read it out. So this person said, two cultural shocks that I got when I first landed in Germany were: one, the high number of smokers, both young and old; two, the high rate of alcohol consumption in Germany. In fact, Bavaria, which is Bayern, has the highest breweries per square meter in the whole world. There are over 600 breweries in Bavaria alone. Borno State, Nigeria, 7,898 kilometers square, is slightly bigger than Bavaria, 70,550 kilometers square. While terrorism has ravaged Borno State and other parts of Nigeria, Bavaria and Germany in general is one of the safest places to live on earth. Can someone please ask NAFDAC Nigeria and DG at NAFDAC, how she became a professor but can't critically analyze data? How come despite the high density of breweries in Germany, there is no banditry in that country? Shouldn't Germany be the more terrorized country? This angle is bringing important facts to light. This angle is bringing up the fact that this is a, oh, I forgot to mention it, this is a professor, mind you. This is somebody that completed a whole tenureship as a to become a professor. And once you hear professor in all these older people hear titles in Nigeria, just know you're about to hear the most idiotic, foolish, out of touch take, okay, on current issues every time they open their mouth to speak. Just know that, okay, they are living in some kind of world where reality does not play in. They live in their fantasy world, and I think that is because the position of professorship gives them a level of privilege and elevates their class in the society in such a way that they cannot come to terms with the material realities of the horrors of systemic poverty that is going on in this country. They just cannot come to terms with it because they are in the position of such power, okay, and income. Like the good example this person gave out there is like, what the hell does banditry have to do with alcoholism or consumption of alcohol? She's not even making a call to the fake drinks that are plaguing Lagos bars. I'm sure she's based in Lagos. She's not bringing up the fact that fake Hennessy's, fake Moët and champagnes in the most popular bars in Nigeria, nightclubs in Nigeria, are causing serious damage to people's health, people's livers. And how are they getting into the country? Passing through so-called strict customs, immigration, customs checks. How are they passing through that? If we want to focus on alcohol, there's a serious issue of fake alcohols in clubs, and these drinks are being consumed heavily. Already alcohol is a problem, but fake alcohol like affects the liver in such a very massive, like, ugly way. Okay, she is not addressing it. She's now linking it to banditry, linking it to suicide, linking it to homicide. Does she even know what these words mean? What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? How does homicide connect to alcoholism? You can talk about alcoholics, alcohol addicts committing crimes, sure, but that's not the issue right now. That is not what she's talking about. She's not even presenting any form of data. She's just talking to yap. I don't know if there is a, like, to be honest, some another quote goes, make all generation do pass away. They've outlived their usefulness, if I thought they were ever useful. I don't think they were useful. The goodness and the wonders that they witnessed in a working system when they were kids, they absolutely erased it from memory. We can't find any traces of it, and that is why when we talk about this very popular conversation right now on Twitter about piracy and all of that, do you know that Heinemann's Doc of African Writers, the first book I read was Elechi Amadi's Estrangement, and there, from the first line of the page, you hear the word Biafra. You hear that women wearing trousers was seen as harlotry. You see conversations about a northerner, not being a northern man not being able to marry a woman from the south, from Port Harcourt. Yeah, you see how divorce was also a thing that time. It was not so forbidden. We were getting divorced, ma. Oh, it's bitter. Those books, in that book, you see discussions about Biafra and how it was a real thing. I know Biafra is a real thing, like civil war and all of that, but it's not real in that sense of something you read and you learn about in history, because guess what? They removed history from our syllabus, from secondary school syllabus, so there's no history lessons anymore in our country. It was supposed to be a general course for everybody, but they now reduced it to the arts, and then they took it out from arts people's selection of courses for WAEC. Just deterioration. They don't want us to reckon with our history so that we can know how to move forward with our future. Okay, they just want us to live in this bubble of just stay and let me exploit you, even though they are the generation that is literally dying out. Like, how old is our president? How old are his ministers, his cronies? How old is this woman, this Professor Mojisola? How old is she? That is why she can make such blanket statement and expect applause. You're not getting any applause from me for your stupid take. This is just a stupid opinion. There's no fact backing it. There's no logic, like there's no correlation between all of these topics. How the hell does alcoholism translate to banditry? You can say that bandits drink alcohol, but so do regular people who go about their lives trying to cope with the reality that we live in. So do people that just want to have a good time. People having sex can stop having sex in the middle to drink alcohol, to drink beer, to drink wine. I don't understand what she's talking about. It doesn't make any sense. So that's what I was talking about. I brought up the whole book thing to be like, because of the erasure of our systems, the eroding of our systems is more like it. The intentional eroding of our systems into deadness. Yeah, I don't think there's any system in Nigeria that works. All that happens in Nigeria is just consumption. It's just consumption. And I feel like she's just banking on it, you know. And I don't know who fed her this statement. I don't know if she came up with it with her brain, that the same brain she used to become a professor, the same brain she's using to make this conversation on from her seat as the Director General of the whole Food and Drug Administration Control body. It's just unfortunate, you know, the reality we live in. Living with this kind of idiots at the helm of affairs. Because no wonder things are not working. No wonder things are stagnant. We have idiots in control of things. So of course, things are not going to work. And I know there will be some people that have expressed some sentiment of, oh, you know, you cannot insult her. She's like, shut the fuck. Don't bring that here. You're not doing your job. And you're now making false equivalencies, drawing correlations where there are none. There is no correlation between alcohol and ban. Do you know how people have lost their lives? Young people have lost their lives to terrorist attacks in this country. They have lost their lives to kidnapping schemes. Harm everywhere. Nigerians don't know how to make analogies at all. And they don't know how to draw 2 points together. It's always false equivalence. It's everywhere. That's how one fool was saying piracy and rape are bad. Like, and she was using those two things, piracy and rape, as equivalencies to reflect on how people are not agreeing on the wrongness of something. It's like piracy and rape. That is what will happen when a country like Nigeria persists in heading towards destruction. No more education system. We don't have an education system. Let's not deceive ourselves anymore. We're just sending children to school because that's what we know. Else, they're not paying teachers enough to do their job well enough. They are not training teachers at the training colleges anymore. You know, no single public university is getting correct funding, and even if they're getting the funding that is less than what they demanded, the people at the helm of affairs in those colleges, those universities, are eating it, pocketing it somehow, some way or the other. So education is rubbish in this country right now, especially for children. Secondary school, primary school, rubbish. You don't teach them anything. So I'd like to hear your take on this kind of statement. I wish I could go through more and more like quotes, you know, but I feel like it might drag too much on the video. But like, if you want to hear things like that, let me know in the comments, and I will keep making comments like this. This Agbalmo is bitter. I bought a set. It was nice. All of them. That is this one bitter. Anyways, bye bye. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.